having us. We're Jessica and Brandon Desfasas, and we are realtors in Pocatello and Chubbuck.
And
Brandon's been doing it for a year and a half, and I am coming
2
up.
years. We only have 2 years.
No, you're 2 years in August.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon's been doing it for a year and a half, and I am coming up on my 1 year mark. So we're new. We're babies to the industry.
But you've had a very successful career.
We have so far. We ended last year and we didn't even team up for the whole year together. We were teamed up for about 8 months of the year. Mm-hmm. And we ended at number 4 in sales in our association.
Which is probably unheard of.
Yeah. Well, the people above us have been doing it for years. So
good time.
Yeah.
It was pretty humbling to be up there with them. We knew we were doing pretty well, but we didn't really expect that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. So the reason I want to have you guys on today is because like I've been having a lot of conversations with coaches in one of the networks of certifications that I've done. And there's like 100 gym owners, and basically everyone's talking about, getting online, but then the part of that, like that, just getting online is one step, but in terms of how to market it in mostly obviously like a digital advertising type of way. Mm-hmm. And what's hard right now is everyone in the space is trying to get online at the same time. So there was already like a lot of noise in the industry before, and now there's even more.
Right.
So you guys are, I would say without a doubt, in terms of like digital marketing in Pocatello, you guys are probably one of the strongest out of anyone in the area or in industry. So I wanted to kind of go over, talking about how you got into that. I'm pretty sure you have a background in that. And then what ways you're successful or finding success, and maybe a couple pointers and ideas that, you wouldn't easily point out because typically people are like, oh, they're good at this, because people probably have reasons why they think you're good at it already, but mm-hmm. you guys know like the back end and what goes into it, and like maybe some things that you guys do to be more successful in that space than even just what people are seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed. And this is pretty closely related to what we just talked to the ISU class about, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think that all falls in line?
Yeah.
And this is, what class we just taught, it's not special to real estate or any industry, really. Any business can take it and improve on it. So basically it's 3 super simplified steps of how to be successful in your business, especially online, but in person too, because that's important too.
There's a lot in person stuff, and obviously if you're being a fitness or a gym person, like, a coach, you right now, especially, it's going to be you're not going to be probably associating with them in person. So, that's for right now, that's going to get rid of that. But,
and actually, I think this will translate well because, like you said, there's a lot of noise for you guys right now online, but the real estate market is saturated with so many agents and so much online.
Mm-hmm. There's not 300 coaches in this town, but there's 350 agents in this area.
Yeah,
it's true.
You definitely got to put yourself above, and it's easy.
So
and there's way more people that work out a day than that buy houses a day. So
yeah, good point. So that should be reassuring.
Really easy.
Especially now that gyms are closed, people are going to be wanting to do stuff online.
Well, yeah.
So basically, we'll just start with let's outline our 3 steps.
Yeah,
the first one is decide who your target audience is, because you can't be everything to everybody. And if you try to be everything to everybody, there's a quote, you're going to be nothing to everybody. Wait, nothing to nobody. I forgot.
Something along those lines.
You're nothing to nobody, basically. If you try to get everybody, you're going to get nobody. So you need to decide who your target audience is. And then everything you do, everything online, everything in person, everything marketing-wise, you need to appeal to those people.
Like, Darren, who do you think your target audience is?
So when I first started off, I would say I was too narrow in my niche, because I was working with I made it seem like I only worked with Olympic weightlifters. Mm-hmm. but now I would say my brand attracts people that kind of want to simplify and cut out any, we'll just say, bullshit in terms of like all these confusing things about health and fitness, and just want answers and are okay with the mundane and going in and working hard and consistency. So kind of people that are interested in investing more in their own personal health in terms of individualized, as well as want this simple, straight answer and not some elaborate, sexy fitness quick fix.
I agree. You're not getting the 21-day fix or the 30-day fix, people.
Yeah. And those are mostly those people that go to, the people that do that are the people that show up to, like, you know, your traditional gym. So
yeah.
And they're not going to pay what you're charging. So I think that's
No.
really smart of you. And I agree, in your marketing, I've noticed that you're like, basically cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's how it is. You know?
Yeah.
Which is good, I think. That's, there's no one really else that does that. So
yeah,
I think
not in this town, no.
Yeah, and no, I think that's why you've done well too.
Yeah.
So what do you think, is there like an age range? Like think of your like ideal client.
Mm-hmm.
And
so yeah, the hard part for
male or female, what's their age range?
Yeah, I think what's hard about, so we get actually a wider range here, but it's all people that are really invested in like a lot of interaction and like individualization. So even on my online side, I put a lot of effort into like connecting over video and separating myself that way and giving a lot of feedback and review, because like a lot of, if you ever done like an online program, it's usually just like, here's your workouts and that's it. So we do a lot of connecting. So when people come in here, we have 9-year-olds all the way to 60-year-olds. So I wish I could say I have like an ideal client in terms of age, but I don't really. It's more, my ideal client is somebody that wants to be coached.
Yeah. Okay.
So like that values coaching and a lot of feedback. So,
So would you say your client is motivated for the most part? You have a motivate, like you're not trying to get the people that are just wanting to go in and get a quick sweat.
Well, they're motivated and they're ready to listen. Like a lot of people are maybe in stages of their fitness where they just want to go get a sweat on. They're not like really either educated enough yet or experienced enough to know that they need coaching, and aren't really looking for it in that life cycle of like being an athlete or just somebody pursuing fitness. And then when people usually get to us is either A, they're broken and need help, or B, they're ready to learn. Like they want to learn more about how they can improve themselves beyond just like basic technique information, like, oh, squat a little deeper, drive your knees out. Like when they're ready to have conversations about the actual principles of training, like we talk about that with a lot of our clients in here, even our younger kids. Because my goal is any client that comes in here could potentially be a coach one day. So
sweet. Cool. So anyways, we didn't answer his question very much because we stopped early on that. So let's go back to
so we number one was your ideal, figure out who your niche is, your ideal client. Which is important because you have to stand out. Like in the gym space, if you don't really have something you're branding, it's like what separates you from everyone else selling a 30-day program,
Exactly. How do you rise above all the noise that's out there? So, it's step one. It seems easy, find your target audience, but sometimes
it's not. It takes time. Yeah. Well, so I'm curious, like for you guys, I would feel like you appeal to a lot of people, but maybe even more so, like who's your ideal audience? Is it like people our age that are more technologically adept and just want to like I'm buying a house from you right now and it's the simplest thing ever. And a lot of people usually like have told me that it's like this arduous process and confusing, but I like trust you guys. So I'm just like hands off as much as I can. You guys handle it, which you guys have done amazing at. So, but like my dad, for example, would want to be more involved. So I don't know if maybe like there's like an age range that you typically get or.
So, what's interesting about that is we do have our target audience while we're marketing, but it actually expands farther than that. Like when you're strategizing your marketing, you think of this one person, but you really attract more than that one person, which is kind of like the magic behind it. Like you were saying, you get 9 to 60. Like you could be marketing for 20 to 30 year olds, but you're still getting the 9 to 60 year olds.
Yeah.
So ours that we think of when we're marketing, typically female. If you look at any of our stuff online, it's swaying more towards females. 25 to 35. They're like you and Caroline, easygoing, trust us. You don't expect us to show up in a suit and tie.
Yeah. It's just you kind of know who we are with our marketing, because you felt like, we're not just like a house that we post. It's like you see us, you know who we are.
Like our background and our story. And
yeah,
that's how and it's pretty, for the most part, it is. Our clients are like that. And we're going to get all sorts of clients, but like right now, for example, I'd say three out of 5 people that we are working with are all our target audience, or pretty dang close.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think it's important, like what you just highlighted was, it's not like the house, it's you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important too in the gym space, because it's like workouts are workouts, like rep schemes are rep schemes. There's no one has magic.
Yeah.
There's no magic. It's just like you're selling yourself and your company as like a brand. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what you were selling, you could sell. The people that trust you would buy from you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to put your face out there, give information, show what you're doing, and be confident enough to spread the word yourself. Mm-hmm. And like build a brand around yourself over just like, oh, this is a sweet house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And you gotta look like what you're talking about. That's the thing. Like, instead of talking about for a lot of coaches, I see the issue is a lot of them just post themselves only working out, and that's it. That's kind of the same thing as if me and Jess were to only post about ourselves and only post about what we do.
Right. Because you've got to think about what's going to bring value to your target audience that you've chosen. And everything you do, you've got to bring value to them.
So are you going to just post yourself and then say, here's a rep workout? Or are you going to post like, here is why sprinting is so beneficial versus just jogging? You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know that, right? And so if you can show that and continually do that, instead of just posting yourself and how jacked you are and how good you look.
You are jacked, by the way.
Right, but that's not what that's not what that's not what's going to appeal to most people. There'll be some, but not all. So
yeah, because you got to bring I've found success in just trying to give away free value, like information, and then people, when they do need something, they're like, oh, that guy helped me without even knowing it. Like, they gave me free information. Right. Now I want to work with them.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And that's the whole goal. So that pretty much covers like our basic steps 1 and step 2. And then step 3 is just, once you've found those people and they've come to you, keep them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, whatever that means for that person, it's going to be different for everybody.
So if you're the fitness person that, especially online, because you're not going to see them every day. If you're the one that's like, hey, you pay me monthly and your first month is awesome, and then you just pretty much disappear and you keep trying to charge them, you're not going to get good reviews, number one, and they're not going to refer you. So if you fix that up online, especially if you're like, hey, I'm doing a program right now, because there is a lot of people, literally everyone, no one can go to their gym. Like, that's just what it's like, not one person. So a good way to get a program for someone, especially the people that just go to normal gyms, if they're looking for an online program, if you can be like, hey, I can hook you up and you can bring them value, make sure that you continually get a hold of them and talk to them and create a relationship with them.
Yeah, like even if it's something that's like, you can get creative. Like, what if you just give them like a Hanson Athletics blender bottle for Christmas? Everyone that you did programming for in the year, you're like, thank you. Even like little silly things like that go so far. Like, we've been dropping off, I got $1 like flower packets, and I made a little tag that said, thanks for helping our business bloom. Happy spring. And we've been dropping them off to our clients. It cost me $1. It cost me less than $1.50 for the whole thing.
You could order stickers and email.
Right. And people are so happy about it. Like, it's just, it's not necessarily about the thing. It's about the thought behind the thing. Little stuff like that keeps people really happy.
And I know that's hard if you have clients all over if you have thousands of clients, you might need to, figure out a little bit more simple situation.
But at the same time, has it ever been easier to reach those people anyway?
It's not. So, it's not a big deal at all in terms of getting it done. So that's the big thing for us. And obviously it's going to change a little bit with the situation everyone's in right now, but online wise, you've got to cater to the people that you want to work with.
I'm sure your people love coffee. You could send them a $5 Starbucks gift card
Most
in their
people
email.
Probably do drink coffee, right? Like that's just what you.
Yep.
And something unexpected like that, like you're going to get referred up the yin yang.
Yeah. And you kind of brought up a point that has been coming up in the conversations I've been having with coaches when they're asking for advice, and it's like a couple things. First, they feel uncomfortable continually telling people what they do. Like they feel like they're just not comfortable doing it. And I'm like, first thing you need to know about like marketing yourself and a business is, like they say, until you've seen it like 7 to 9 times, they don't even know what you do.
Exactly.
So it's like you feel like you're yelling it all the time, but nobody, like the odds that they're listening at that time is so low,
right?
That people are nervous to like continually say what they do. But yet when you look at successful people, it's just because they're consistently out in front of people.
Yes. And you can't think of it from your own perspective. You have to think of it from your target audience's perspective.
Mm-hmm. So that's one point that we always talk about. And I'm like, you've got to be comfortable telling people what you do and be confident, like Brandon said, in what you're sharing. So you seem like a professional.
Yep.
And then I always tell them too, like the first people you're going to monetize or like get as customers are going to be like your inner circle of people that already trust you. And then word of mouth starts to spread from there and people see that you're working with them. And then they start to say, oh, if they're working with them, I want to work with them. Mm-hmm. But people are afraid to like monetize people around them that are close in their life. But I'm like, those are the people that trust and value the most right now. Like that's where you need to start at.
Yes.
Right.
I completely
like
agree.
Our first couple sales were close friends.
Yeah.
Or family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for that, it jumps up.
Yeah.
So but people get stuck at the very beginning because they don't want to ask people that they know to do something. But I'm like, if you truly believe, because if you want to be successful in anything, you got to believe that you do bring value. And if you believe that you bring value, it's like you shouldn't have a problem asking for money because you know that you're going to bring them a service or a value that's worth their money.
Yes, I completely agree.
So this is something that I did when before Jessica started, and this is like also part of it for sure in terms of with online, you can find all sorts of fitness groups on Facebook. I literally would find all sorts of real estate groups or people. So if someone liked my post, I instantly went to them and messaged them, and I was like, hey, if you're looking to buy or sell, let me know. I'm new, blah, 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 blah. And it was pretty personal every single time. And that got me so many sales so fast because it wasn't a copy and paste. Mm-hmm. It was legit. And it takes way more time to type that out. But
it wasn't asking for anything necessarily. It was, hey, if I can help you with anything, let me know.
You're like, hey, if you're like, hey, I'm a coach, a fitness coach, or whatever you are, say, hey, I'm this. Let me know if I can help you with anything surrounding that. And then literally at some point they'll be like, hey, I have a house to sell, or hey, I need to work out, or hey, my friend needs to work out, or whatever.
Fix my snatch.
Like that's like I need to lose like all sorts of things, right? And so if you do that's like, especially right now, most of us are not doing it. So you just sit on your computer and go message people, and make it a personal message. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It's like, hey, my name's Brandon. I'd like to be your coach.
Again, it's never been easier to reach people.
So that's a big thing that a lot of people don't do, and if you copy and paste, you're going to get overlooked every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's actually a great idea in terms of, like, I didn't even think about that in terms of these coaches in all these different areas. It's like, it's super easy on Facebook to find groups in the area. And you, like right now, everybody doesn't have a gym. So it's like, you could literally just reach out to those groups and be like, hey, this is what I do. I have this online platform.
Start your own group. Pocatello needs to work out group.
Yeah.
Pocatello, there's no gyms open. But the other thing is like, and I don't know what group you're talking about with the coaches group or whatever, but you could literally find, and especially if you're trying to build your online, like you could reach out to everywhere. Like you could find all sorts of fitness pages literally just go to a supplement company and go down that friends list and literally just be like, hey, my name's this. I'm a coach and this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that's
also why it's important to have a target audience. Because if your target audience is mostly female, you need to find like a supplement company that also like has the same target audience. Go message every single one of their followers.
Right. Like what's your power athlete? Is that kind of your?
Yeah. So that's that network I'm talking about. So I have a Block 1 certification. There's like 100 coaches worldwide, and we're all like, we have monthly collectives. We talk on Slack, and we kind of just like share information, keep everybody up to date on research, share ideas. And these are the coaches, and they're almost all either gym owners or run gyms. And it's kind of like, these are the people that are reaching out right now in terms of like, how do I keep my doors open by expanding online? Because a lot of people haven't been doing it, and they know I've been doing it. So it's like, these are the people that are listening to this and trying to figure out, how do I separate myself? So,
yeah, I would just go find a group that fits what you want. And I mean, you could find a lot. There's a lot of groups, a lot of people that you can find on Facebook. And so if you're trying to build your online, I mean, what better way to just go through and send a personal message, whether they get back to you or not, whatever. But if you send 10 messages and one gets back to you,
worth it.
That's a huge success.
I mean, how it goes. So that's a really good way to do it, especially right now when none of us are busy. I mean, 90% of us do not have anything to do right this very second, right? We're kind of stuck. So
yeah. And then I would say, I want to take it back even to like, it's just an interesting thing for me in terms of like who my ideal client was, because my branding comes off super like kind of masculine, but I actually have a lot more females, especially on the internet, than I do males.
Interesting.
Because I
wonder if that's because you personally, like, it'd be intimidating to other males, honestly.
Yeah, but this is one thing I think is, a lot of guys think that they know how to work out because they lifted weights in high school.
Yeah.
And a lot of females are more open to being coached, and males think they already know everything.
That's true.
Exactly true.
Yeah.
It's like an ego thing.
With every single fitness industry in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be it, right? I mean,
so I think that's a big part of it is dudes are like, what are you talking about? I benched 225 in high school. I know how to work out, So it's like.
Oh, for sure. That's super true. Well, yeah. And I mean, I would say for sure that like most guys like to do their own thing and just like to put their headphones in, right? But there's a lot of girls that, I mean, shoot, think about all of think about all the Instagram girls that girls follow their workouts. And I mean, they're not anything. 90% of those girls that post those workouts are not trainers.
No, I don't. You don't even want to get me started on that.
I know, I'm not going to. Yeah, like that's what I mean though. Like girls are very much more into getting coached and having someone tell them what to do in terms of fitness versus guys.
And being personal. So that's really good. That's like super powerful for you to know and understand.
Yeah.
Your marketing.
So it's interesting. So like for you guys on the, like, because now they have an idea of I need to find my target niche. I need to, start reaching out to people, especially those within my circle. Are there like a couple other maybe tips that maybe aren't on the front end, more on the back end, or that people wouldn't normally think about? Like, are you guys planning out your social media marketing schedule? Are you, trying to coordinate, obviously, with things that come up? So Corona is a great example, but then like other holidays, or like what's your kind of focus when it comes to generating your content?
We do schedule it out. I will say it sometimes is very challenging because you have to be creative. And for me right now, I have the worst pregnancy brain. Like, honestly, I hadn't done it in the past 2 months. And this week I finally woke my ass up and did
Wake your ass up.
But I really like when I have a whole month scheduled at a time, because then you're not waking up going, oh, what am I posting about today? What am I putting out there today? I literally have just like a huge calendar and write it out. for the month. So first I look at what are the holidays that month? How can I like tie it into real estate? And then I'll look at like, sometimes there's like National Taco Day or like that, you know, see if any of that, see if any of that would match up with our target audience. And then I kind of fill in the blanks of, you know, we do our Tuesday tips. So every Tuesday we do a real estate or a home related tip. And then, you know, if we have a closing, I'll plan to post our clients, like an appreciation post of our clients that day. So yeah, we just kind of go through, fill in the blanks and see which, like, you just have to think about what is going to add value for my target audience and then put it somewhere on the calendar.
Yeah. Would you say though, so I've also seen the extreme on that side where like somebody's afraid to post something that wasn't like well thought out.
Yes.
Do you find like, cause I know with my gym, like I share, like if I think of something on the spot, I'll just post it. Like I'm not worried about, you know, oh, this is going to throw off my well, I posted at 4:00, so I better not post at 6:00 about this, you know, it doesn't fit in. So.
Right. Oh yeah. You can totally get stuck in like analysis paralysis big time.
Yeah.
So I like it because it's kind of like cause I'll do the same thing. We'll be out and about and I'll be like if we're showing a house and I see something funny that I want to share with our followers, I'll just snap a pic, you know, and either I'll plan to post that later or if it's something I want to post that day, just move that post somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people, and that's when you get started, that's how it goes. You get scared, but once you get going all the time, it's like you just start posting. And
the more you post, the more you learn about what people actually want to see. You can look at your engagement, your comments, the amount of likes, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it helps you in the long run more, the more you're posting. If you're posting nothing or you're posting something, post something. Something's better.
Yeah, that's what I always tell them. I say, even if it's like mediocre content all the time, that's better than like one high quality piece every week and a half.
Yes.
Right.
It's like, it's all about being consistent.
What?
Because then you're consistent, right? Yeah. It's all about being consistent for sure.
Yeah.
What kind of do you use a software for planning your posts that they could potentially use that you like?
So I use my giant calendar method, just keep it in my head. And there's an app called Planoly, Planoly, and it's free. There's a paid version. I just use the free version. I use it like if I just have one picture to post. If there's like multiple, then you have to post it by yourself. But you can schedule out Instagram posts that way. If you want it to automatically post to your Facebook, then you have to do the paid version. But I really like that one for Instagram.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll even just get a post ready and then save it in my drafts on Instagram for the next day or the next couple of days, you know?
Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. And I use one called Hootsuite, and there's like a free version of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you can post to LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Like you can schedule them and they automatically post.
That's super nice.
So that's like, that's an easy way for them to manage that. Yeah, that's awesome. And then what's cool is you guys also have like a pretty good background in the gym space too. So it's like you can understand what these guys maybe are, you know, looking to do. And now's a great time to start, even if they're not successful right now. Like when this is all said and done, you should still. It's going to highlight a lot of businesses' weaknesses, I think,
for sure,
in terms of being able to grow other than just in the gym itself. So,
yeah, I agree.
Well, there's a lot of gyms that are not gyms and coaches that kind of just are. I don't know the word for it. They just So me and the big thing to do is we try to make Idaho Real Estate. Obviously, we try to make that look like it's bigger than it actually is, because or does that make sense? So we look like we've been doing it longer than we actually have, because we create such good education and all that stuff. We've made sure to bring on a educational experience, but we don't treat our business like a mom and pop.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people do in every aspect of their, like in all sorts of business aspects. But like if you treat your coaching or your gym or your real estate or your store or whatever as a mom and pop shop, and you don't treat it like a business, you're going to have an issue down the road for sure. Like that's the biggest, I mean, if you don't have systems set up and all that, I mean, me and Jess we're not very good right now because she's pregnant, but we do have a system when things are going. So, that's how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like I've had some people come and visit here and they're like, wow, that looks a lot bigger on the internet. And I'm like, damn straight it does. So I think that's huge too, is like, if you set up your thing and just believe that it's going to be what it is because it's a ma and pa, you're going to be a ma and pa forever. And if you're okay with that, then I guess you're okay with that. But you got to just come off like you're
a professional.
You got to believe you're a big brand before anyone else is even going to believe it.
Exactly. If you don't, like you said, if you don't believe in yourself, how's anyone else going to believe in you?
Yeah. Like our slogan is like world-class coaching. And I'm like, there's probably a lot better coaches out in the world than me, but you bet your ass I believe I'm one of them. So it's like, if you believe it, at least one person does. And then from there, you might convince another person and then another person. And then before you know it, somebody might call you that,
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Do you guys have any other?
Whether you are or not. No.
Oh, sorry. No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go.
Nope. Keep going. Go.
So whether you are or not, if you portray that, you're gonna get it. That's the thing. Like
you got to put it out there to get it back.
I agree.
So that's just how it goes.
Are there any other quick tips you have, just off the top of your head? Maybe something you covered in that class, or like a typical question you ran? Did the students, when you did that, did the students have like specific questions for you that you found were useful for the group, or?
Yeah, I think this one got asked, and I think could be very applicable to you guys as well. Someone asked us, I'm sure you've had like a nightmare client before. We've had a few nightmare clients that they like kind of suck the soul and the energy out of you and ruin it for the ones you actually want to work with. So how do we deal with that? And at first you kind of just have to suck it up and take what you can get, but there might be a point in your business that you can start referring that out or fire clients if it comes down to that. And I think there's a lot of power in that, because you don't want to be spending your time with people that you don't want to be working with. That's how you're going to burn out. That's not good for the long run.
Yeah, 100%. So that's an awesome point to bring up, because I haven't talked to anyone about that, but I would agree. And I would say right now where my gym is at, because I had that background 8 years ago starting online. So when I moved back here, I actually didn't need to make any money with my gym. I don't need to make any money on site. So that's why I was comfortable coming in at a quadruple the price rate of every other gym in town. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say that me and Shelton neither of us have any clients that we don't look forward to seeing, because we've set our price.
That's amazing.
We've set our price high enough that people are really invested, and it attracts a certain client anyway.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome.
That's smart, because why would they pay you that much money and then not be good to work with and listen to you,
Yeah, because they have so much skin in the game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of eliminated. I've had some bad clients online that you sign up for, when I first started, for $30 a month, and they're the worst. And you're just why am I investing so much energy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and it's kind of fun to fire clients. You should try it. Everyone should try it at least one time.
Hey, this isn't working out. I hope my ass doesn't get fired when I'm buying a house.
Oh, I forgot your clients. No, you guys are great. You guys have literally been the easiest.
Yeah. So, no, that's a good piece of advice. In terms of
Thank you.
Don't be afraid to, cut off the people that suck the soul out of you.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
No,
you can't.
You're not, and you're not going to be able to do that. And there's a lot of people that don't like the way we do real estate, and so they go somewhere else. It's just how it is.
And clients or other realtors.
Or they try to imitate, which is good. Then you just up the level of everybody, and
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you imitate, that's fine. But it's you don't want to please everyone. There's too many people in this world that you don't want everyone. That's the thing. You don't want to deal with that.
And if you don't take a stand on somewhere in the industry, like you said, you're not going to stand out to anybody if you don't have like a firm structure of this is who we are, this is how we work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're just trying to be everybody else based on who's being successful at the time, it's like no one even is going to know who you are or feel any type of consistency or trust in what you're putting out. So cool. Well, thanks for hopping on, guys.
I want to add one more thing.
Add it.
Okay, because the foundation to all of this is having your target audience. So I just want to point out, like, the more specific you go, the better. So I'm talking like gender, age, range, where do they shop? What movies do they like? Where do they go on vacation? What are they looking for by hiring you? What are their favorite restaurants? What supplement companies do they like? All like the more, what type of activities? What kind of dog do they have? Like, are they dog people? Are they cat people? The more specific you can get, the better. And that is the foundation to everything, all of this. So
finding an ideal client.
I want to stress the importance of that.